received from the FBI is total bullshit. It's not making sense. Put this up, Kylie. I am still okay, my love. Now, I have a 22-year-old son. He doesn't speak this way. A little while longer yet is another quote from the letter. Till we died of old age.
What?
He used grab my unseen. A bit over a week. And then he refers to a squad car. He uses the phrase circle back. He refers to his car as a vehicle. This is just, there's something incredibly fishy about this. I do not trust Kash Patel's FBI. He's a conspiracy theorist. Dan Bongino is a conspiracy theorist. They had podcasts where they trash talked the FBI for 4 years, which was their audition to get this job. Their number one thing is that they are Trump loyalists. I'm just not buying that this kid texted, ever since the election, my dad's been hardcore MAGA. If he and this roommate were in a romantic relationship, why do you have to say that? That would be assumed. Why are you giving all these details about changing clothes? I'm just telling you guys, it stinks to high heaven. I'm not buying it. I don't trust anything that this administration puts out. They immediately, here's one of the main reasons as well, aside from knowing that 22-year-olds don't text like this. One of the main reasons is immediately after Charlie Kirk's murder, there was a organized, coordinated messaging attack on the right, that this was left-wing ideology, that these were leftists that did this. And then within 12 hours, it had swollen into left-wing transgender terror cells. That's what, before they even had this guy. And here's another tell in this letter, in the text exchange. He says, the roommate allegedly says, I thought they caught the guy. And then Robinson responds, that was some old crazy dude. So let me get this straight.
Gay knows gay.
You're worried about the rifle that you reassembled while you're changing clothes, and you're texting all these details to your roommate, but you're also logged into your phone analyzing, and you know that some guy was picked up and then released. I don't know that I even knew that at that time. And I'm not trying to allegedly stash a murder weapon. I'm calling bullshit. I don't believe this for a second.
I agree with you.
Gay knows gay.
Gay
knows gay.
Given what you said, the immediate narrative was it was a leftist trans person. But he didn't fit the narrative. White, Christian, MAGA,
Mormon.
It did not fit their narrative. And that's never stopped Donald Trump from lying or corruption before. So why should it now?
And moving along, I want to highlight this tweet from Hassan Piker. He says, half the right thinks the messages are fake because it doesn't implicate the trans person. So there's a bunch of people that believe that this is wrong because the messages provide cover for the alleged trans roommate. The other half think the shooter is a patsy because it was Israel that killed Charlie Kirk. Hassan, a leftist, says, I will say the text messages are too perfectly plugging holes for the investigators and unnatural. And what I'm seeing here in Hassan's tweet, you guys, is bizarre bipartisan support. And to fight this fascist regime, it's going to require this. It is going to require people on the far right that have these podcasts and people on the far left to save our Constitution and our First Amendment. And this is the exact same thing that all of these bots and the administration are trying to prevent us from doing. Let's hear from Matt Walsh what he says about this. This is a far-right anti-trans nut job. I am leaning very strongly towards the theory that this text exchange was scripted as a way to absolve the boyfriend. So his big thing is he's anti-trans. It's almost exactly what Walter White did at the end of Breaking Bad. This feels like a strategy they cooked up from watching too much TV. So this is the far-right anti-trans movement. He's calling bullshit on it. Hassan Piker's calling bullshit on it. Jennifer and Pumps are calling bullshit on it. I'm calling bullshit. Next up, we have Steve Bannon of the War Room. He's not buying it. Play the clip.
As it's presented in Utah, I'm not buying all of it. I'm particularly not buying those text messages. It just seems too stilted, too much like a script, actually a bad script.
We've always said that this administration is incompetent. And this is the highlight of this incompetence. But what's so sad about this is incredibly dangerous. This is a wild time to live in the United States, and they have eroded the institution so much that within 9 months, I don't believe an effing word coming out of the FBI. Not one word, because Cash Money Patel is blindly loyal to the cult leader. And then behind the cult leader, you've got the failed drag queen, smoky eye sociopath, Little Smokey. And then it gets even darker. You get to Palantir, you get Elon Musk, you get to these very dark forces. There are people on the far right that see this. They see that people that are more powerful, with more money, with more nefarious intents than Matt Walsh and Steve Bannon, they see that they are sucking up to Trump, and they have the bank account that Trump is impressed with. And so there is a very weird time right now where we all need to focus on, because I believe we're at a precipice. I believe it's going to take some level of bipartisan voices to save this democracy. And I'm starting to see that this could possibly happen, because if the right wing is calling bullshit on the FBI that they wanted to take over, this is a window that we cannot close the door on. Here's Candace Owens. She's from the Israel camp.
Messages are clearly doctored, is what I would say. They're doctored. Now, they could decide why they're doing that. Tyler's being forthcoming. We're protecting him in some capacity. I find that to be unacceptable. Okay? Unacceptable. I want every single text message. I want timestamps. It is conspicuous that you are not telling us when this was sent, because it sounds like it's when the campus is on lockdown and he's got to go back and he's got to clean up, and then all of a sudden we're in the next day when his dad is getting clued in after the picture's been released. They're not telling us that, okay? And you have a right to be a little bit uncomfortable about that, because I'm a lot of bit uncomfortable about that. We need full answers.
Okay, so you have exactly what Hassan said. More of her clips, she goes into thinking that this is a false flag from Israel, that the Israelis are all over it. You have the anti-trans people, the Matt Walsh, that think that it was their whole narrative the last few days have been that it is a trans terror cell that was activated. These sleeper cells of trans people, which if you know trans people, you know they're just trying to live and not draw attention to themselves because everybody's so fucking mean to them. And so then I think the truth is this. I think you have an completely incompetent and corrupt FBI that's 1000% beholden to Kanks. And they are desperate to make this narrative fit that this is left wing, because they want to erode civil rights. And here's why they want to do it. Kanks is tapped out, you guys. He's working on retrofitting his private plane that was a gift from Qatar. He's working on his ballroom. He's redecorating the Oval Office. He has this new patio club that he's opened up. He didn't give a shit about all this stuff. But Lil Smokey is there, chomping at the bit, perched and ready to pounce on this presidency. He has no riz. He cannot keep the cult together. So they need to have all of the power consolidated in the executive before Kanks, who is like 80, 90 years old. Biology is going to catch up with him. Another thing that's interesting, Ruth Ben-Ghiat has talked about how when the dictator starts showing signs of weakness health-wise, the cult starts eroding. So
everything starts falling apart. All the people from the vice president to the Department of the Secretary of War, the Attorney General, they all start fighting each other. And we'll find out who's going to be on top for a day or two as this administration goes down.